Hello, pocket knife community, knife lovers, knife enthusiasts, interested viewers. Folder here. Yeah, so evidently, I mean, it's an obvious debate because of the fact that, you know, the fact that the Bodacious was created. So I see why, people would go back and forth and say which one's better. I'm just going to put it to rest and tell you why. This is very easy, guys. Very easy. The Bodacious. Well, that's the answer. So I guess you can stop the video. No, watch the video. Watch the video. Listen, aesthetically, functionally, in every way, this is basically a correction. And I'm just going to be blatantly honest. When I first saw the Shaman, I never liked that, right? I never liked the sharpening, the finger choil nub, right? And before I found out that it was a functional problem, aesthetically, it's just, but it's a Spyderco. I get it. It matches the, it flows into the handle to make that front choil. So from a functional standpoint, yeah, but, looks wise, I never liked it, okay? The contoured scales, well, they're not contoured, but the contoured edges on the scales, to me, when you look at the scales in relation to the blade, it's a little disproportionate. It is. And I'm talking about looks. Does it feel good? Yes, these scales feel great. And the contoured edges on the Shaman are legendary for how they feel in hand. So I will give them that. But, sometimes flat scales are better. Sometimes you would think that always the contouring or the chamfered edges would be better, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes, depending on the way, the size of the handle, it's better to have flat scales. It just sort of in hand has a more grippier feel. It doesn't, it doesn't give to the lateral torsion if you're using the tool in that fashion. So, listen, it's all a preference, okay? But yeah, so anyway, we can just start with this, okay? I honestly believe that Sal Glesser, when he created this knife, after it was created, obviously, I don't know. At a certain point, he had to know that, we just let it go. Like this nub coming through on the compression lock, hitting your finger as it comes through the body of the knife. It's amazing how long we've tolerated that and how famous the Shaman has become in spite of that. But make no mistake about it, that's a problem. There were some people, reported that used grinders to take this thing off, and this is just a deal breaker. It really is. It smacks your finger every time, and even it just doesn't even look right, And in the open position, I already stated my claim there, and I would always also like to say that even in the closed position, when you look at the Shaman, and I don't want to sit here and just bash this thing now, but the creation of this just really brought all this stuff to light. Look at the way the blade terminates here at the handle in the closed position. That's just a very incomplete look. It just really is, right? It's like, look, right? Look at the way the Bodacious terminates because there's no choil, right? They were able to bring the index all the way to the point to give it a more polished, finished look while the knife's closed. To knife enthusiasts like myself, this matters, right? It might not matter to some other people that just they're users, but to me, I'm more than just a knife user. I'm a knife, I like the artistic side of pocket knives also. So for me, I never liked that. I never liked the way that looked, and the Demcos have that too. So there are other knives that are like that, but listen, it already had the shortcomings, so that was a problem. So that right there just looks to me, you know, and then, like I said, you can also make an argument that another Sal design, the Caribbean, the new Shaman has influences from both of these knives. I mean, you can clearly see the influence with the Caribbean. The drop point on the Caribbean is not quite the same as the Shaman. They're shaped, they're shaped a little different, but they're close. They're close. It lacks the flats up top. It's just a full flat grind going down from the spine of the blade all the way down to the edge. Whereas with the Shaman, they added an extra, the deck up here. They added that, which to me gives the blade more character. Also, with the Caribbean, if you notice the plunge grind, I believe it touches it. Well, yeah, it's close. It's too close, put it like that. Even if it doesn't quite touch it, the plunge grind to the scale is ridiculously close, right? If you look at the Shaman, it's not quite as close on the Shaman. They made it, they fixed that. So, listen, you got a couple of sunglasses designs here, right? That, as much as I love the, Spyderco brand, neither one of them were ideal. Okay? Neither one. And to me, this is an admittance that neither one of these were quite, they were just, lacking that one little, not one little, but they just had their shortcomings. But, they're still tools, right? Okay, they're still tools. But so is this. This is also a tool. And basically, in my opinion, what they've done is they've taken the shortcomings of the Shaman and the Caribbean and fixed them and came out with the Bodacious. And it's Bodacious. And it is Bodacious. So this video wasn't necessarily a review of the Bodacious. It was more of, an admittance and an acknowledgement that this is a vast improvement over the Shaman. Vast. Okay? The front index is far enough to the main pivot that you can still get maximum force without having a finger choil. It's forward enough, okay? Definitely, I can feel where I'm able to hold this, that you can get plenty of torque on that. Some knives, it's really far back on some knives. If you held on to the index position on the handle on the Shaman, of course you're really far back because it has the front choil. Right? But in the absence of that front choil, you could even see it right here. The peak here is behind the main behind the main pivot. The peak here is in front of it. That answers it. So it's telling you, I don't need a choil. I don't need it, and I can still do the hard work. I can still do piercing tasks, slicing tasks, yeah. So anyway, all right. I'm not gonna keep this video going any longer. It's a wrap. Okay, not beating a dead horse with this one. This is definitely a wrap. The Bodacious is so bodacious that it reigns supreme. And as a sidebar, before I go, I would like to say this: if they did a ultra ambi on this, you'd literally be looking at one of the best knives, best Spydercos ever, because the ultra ambi on the compression lock with the PM2 is just a deal breaker. It allows for seamless, ambidextrous opening, instant open and close. It literally takes away the right hand bias of the compression lock with this button. And if Blaze We Love is listening, dude, if you did a Shaman Ultra Ambi, oh my, I mean a Shaman, I'm sorry, look at that, Freudian slip. If you did a Bodacious Ultra Ambi, I'd be all over that. So anyway, all right, that's all I got.